Hey everybody, it's Dr. Adam Riddy. Today I'm talking to you about how to create a flare if you have irritable bowel syndrome. It seems sort of like a depressing topic, but really that is what I want to focus on because there's a lot of emphasis on what not to eat in irritable bowel syndrome. I think flipping it around and saying what to eat to create a flare in irritable bowel syndrome really crystallizes the problem. So a lot of people are put on broad spectrum dietary approaches for irritable bowel syndrome. When I say broad spectrum, I categorize it as broad spectrum, similar like a broad spectrum antibiotic, meaning take out all these foods and you'll feel better. Now, we do not know necessarily the long-term implications of broad spectrum dietary modifications. So let me give you some examples. Low FODMAP diet is one example of a broad spectrum dietary intervention for irritable bowel syndrome. Also, the simple carbohydrate diet, which is the SCD diet, is another one. We also see some people being put on elimination diets, which eliminates a number of various foods, even lectin-free diets. So these dietary strategies can be very helpful to reduce symptoms in irritable bowel syndrome. And I want to be perfectly clear. I am not saying these do not help people feel like they are symptom free. But what I do see is often, because these are not customized and individualized, that a lot of people sort of get trapped in a dietary pattern that they don't know how to get out of. So what we try to do is do individualized dietary interventions in irritable bowel syndrome to find which diet will work best with overall management of your irritable bowel syndrome, not just broad spectrum population based treatments. This is not easy, but it does take working one-on-one with someone like myself or a functional nutritionist or standard nutritionist, someone who can really look at the whole picture and customize your dietary approach. Now, back to the subject at hand. How would I create a flare-up in someone who has stable irritable bowel syndrome? So let me give you one word. Think pizza and beer. So if you think about the pizza and beer meal, you've got a number of ways that we can unpack what usually causes a flare-up in irritable bowel syndrome. So high in lactose, high in gluten, usually deeply baked, so the oils are almost fried. So there's a lot of volatile oils in the substance. So similar to almost like a fried food in a way. And this is also a food item that's tended to be overeaten and eaten fast, and often with another beverage that is possibly triggered, either a soda or a beer. So within that, if you unpack it even further, these are food items that can really trigger malabsorption, maldigestion, and probably some microinflammation in the gut. So we do know that if someone with stable irritable bowel syndrome would indulge in some aspect of these foods, likely they will have a flare-up. Now, there's a number of lifestyle contributors that will also play a role. That's a topic for another discussion. But just to simply comment on it, if someone is either eating fast or is sort of eating late at night, or if they are eating fast and stressed, these are all factors that might also contribute to the flare-up. But those food items specifically can really contribute to a flare-up. So generally, I would monitor the amount of dairy, gluten, fried foods, and also alcoholic beverages when you have irritable bowel syndrome, because any overindulgence of these items will likely kick in a flare-up. So there are some other common triggers, one of them being caffeine. I will see in my IBS patients that if someone starts to drink more caffeine than usual, they'll notice a flare up. Again, lifestyle plays a big role. Travel, international travel can be another contributing factor. So the essence of a good irritable bowel syndrome treatment plan is a customized diet that has as few dietary modifications as possible so that you have a flexible life that's not full of anxiety about food. This is Dr. Rindy from Sound Integrative Health in Bellevue. Just a tidbit today, sharing with you a little bit to think about. Please leave some comments below. I love to hear your thoughts, and we will continue to discuss this in greater detail.